I'm fit, I lift weights, I eat a ton of protein, I have a very low body fat, and yet my DEXA scan revealed something I wasn't expecting. Something shocking, even. This is why every woman over 40 needs to look inside her body, not just in a mirror or at the scale, because what you can't see could matter the most. If you're a woman in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, regardless if you're fit and active or not, this video is for you. Today, I'm sharing my first personal DEXA scan results, why I decided to get the scan, what shocked me, and what I'm doing now after learning the truth. The reason I got this scan, actually several reasons. I wanted to get a more accurate reading on my body fat and muscle mass percentage. But more importantly, I wanted to see what my visceral fat percentage was. This is the dangerous fat surrounding organs and causing serious diseases like diabetes, cancer. And I wanted to get an idea about my bone density. Recently, I've been listening to Dr. Vonda Wright, an orthopedic surgeon, and in one of her podcasts, she explained that you can get often a good clue about your osteoporosis risk by looking at your parents, because genetics play a significant role in this disease. And since my mom, who is now 73, experienced multiple low trauma fractures over the past few years, and she recently shared with me her diagnosis of extremely low bone density, that immediately got my attention. Bone density loss is highly genetic, especially from mother to daughter. So even though I've been strength training for many years and strength training has a very positive impact on bone health, I started getting suspicious and I decided I wanted to see the truth for myself. What surprised me wasn't my body fat percentage, which was very low as expected, or my lean mass, which was higher than average, as I also expected. It wasn't even my visceral fat, which was extremely low, and it showed that I was in great metabolic health range, which made me very happy. But it was my bone density that shocked me, particularly my spinal bone density. My arms and my legs were actually very strong in high percentiles, but my spine was lagging behind. And when I say lagging behind, I mean on the bottom of the chart, which kind of freaked me out. And that's something you would never know just by looking at me. That's when it really hit me. And I'll be honest, even when you expect something, seeing it on paper can still be shocking and feel like a very unpleasant surprise. If you haven't met yet, I'm Gabriela, and on this channel, I help women navigate midlife with confidence, focusing on longevity, natural wellness, and toxin-free living. And if you're navigating weight loss, hormones, or overall wellness in midlife, hit that subscribe button for more tips on how to thrive, not just survive. And if you find this content helpful, please give it a like. It really helps support this channel and reach more women who need this information. Generally, we're taught to judge our well-being by what we can see, the scale, the mirror, how our clothes fit, but you cannot see bone density. You cannot see visceral fat. And for the most part, you cannot really feel these things until it's often too late. A DEXA scan doesn't just tell you how much body fat you have. It tells you where the fat is stored, how much dangerous visceral fat you carry, how much lean muscle you have, and how strong or weak your bones actually are, region by region. DEXA scan is not 100% accurate, but it's a great indicator of potential risk area that could be explored in more detail by getting additional tests, or simply it can provide awareness of a weak area that needs improvement. In the US, you cannot get a DEXA scan paid for until you're 65. By 65, the damage is done, so why to wait? Start early, pay for it yourself. It's not that expensive. I paid like $50 for it. If you're in your 40s or 50s, you deserve to know your baseline, because bone loss doesn't happen instantly when you get old. It often starts declining quietly after the age of 30. The peak bone mass is reached around the age of 25-30. I know, very early. Very slow decline may begin in the late 30s, and then it accelerates in the early mid-40s during perimenopause. Fastest loss occurs in the first 5 to 7 years around menopause. There is up to 1 to 3% bone loss per year, which is mostly driven by declining estrogen. Then it continues more gradually after menopause. And why this surprises so many women? Because you can still feel strong and fit, exercise regularly without feeling any difference, be lean or athletic, and still be losing bone silently, especially in the spine. The key drivers of early bone loss are estrogen fluctuations during perimenopause, then chronic underfueling and low calorie intake, excessive cardio with insufficient resistance training, low protein intake, high stress and high cortisol levels, and then, of course, genetic predisposition, especially maternal history. Yes, genetics matter, but genetics are not our destiny. What genetics really tell us is where to be more intentional. For me, my scan didn't say, you're broken. It said, your spine needs some help before it becomes a real problem. Luckily, my scores didn't indicate I had osteoporosis or osteopenia. It indicated I was heading that direction if I didn't do anything about it. And that's why I got the test to see if there's anything I should be paying attention to before it gets too late. Here's the important part. Once you know, you can act. And I did. And this is what I'm doing right now to beat the genetics. And I strongly believe, yes, I can. First of all, I'm still doing my strength training, but now I'm intentionally loading my spine. I'm focusing on heavier, low rep lifts. And of course, I'm paying attention to safety so I don't get hurt. I'm doing farmer's carries. They're great for your spine because they load your bones while you stay upright, activating your core and signaling bone strength without bending or twisting. Then I'm doing suitcase carries. Suitcase carries are great for your spine because carrying weight on one side forces your core to keep you upright, strengthening the spine and sending a strong signal again for bone density. Then I'm doing squats, which are great for your spine because they load your body from the ground up. With your core stabilizing and your bones getting a strong signal to build density. Another exercise is overhead carry. These are great for your spine because holding weight overhead forces your core and upper back to stabilize and also sending a strong signal for strength and bone density. Then standing overhead presses, which are great because lifting weight over your head while standing forces your core and back to stabilize your body, again sending a strong signal for bone strength. And then I am fueling properly right after training, since after strength training, your bones are primed to rebuild. My post workout meal is huge, and that's my first and largest meal of the day. I start with drinking bone broth with MCT oil. Then I have kefir with ground flax seeds. Then I eat eggs with arugula, shiitake mushrooms, and nutritional yeast. And on the side, I have either smoked salmon, sausage or bacon, raw milk cheese, fermented veggies, and avocado. This meal provides complete protein to form the bone framework, calcium and minerals to harden it, vitamin K2 and healthy fats to direct minerals into bone, and fermented foods to improve absorption. Together, it helps turn lifting weights into real bone density gains. I get most of my bone supplements from food. However, I added some more supplements to my diet as well. And here's what I'm taking. Vitamin D3, which supports calcium absorption and bone metabolism. Then vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium into bone and away from arteries. Magnesium, which is a cofactor for bone mineral formation, and it supports vitamin D activation. Then cod liver oil, which supports bone health because it naturally provides vitamin D, omega 3s, and vitamin A, which together help calcium absorption, bone remodeling, and inflammation balance. I'm also paying attention to recovery because recovery is when bone density is built. Bone doesn't respond to more cardio. It responds to the right load at the right time with the right fuel and recovery. Here is a simple and practical list of foods that truly support bone health. First of all, protein and collagen. Bones need a protein base before minerals can strengthen them. Great sources of protein for bone health are eggs, fish, especially sardines with bones and salmon, grass-fed meat, bone broth. Then we need calcium and K2 vitamin for mineralization. Calcium builds bone, K2 puts it in the right place. Great sources of calcium for bone health are raw or fermented dairy like cheese, kefir, yogurt, also sardines with bones. Then we need magnesium and vitamin K, which are responsible for bone strength. These help regulate calcium and bone turnover. Great examples are leafy greens like arugula, kale, spinach, avocado, nuts, and seeds. Then we need trace minerals and antioxidants. They support bone remodeling and reduce breakdown. Great sources are mushrooms like shiitake mushrooms, sea vegetables, colorful veggies. And then we need gut supporting foods for absorption, which matters, of course. You can't build bone if you can't absorb the nutrients. The great sources are fermented veggies like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt. And then we also need healthy fats for hormone support. Hormones protect bone, especially estrogen. Great sources are olive oil, avocado, fatty fish. I'm sharing this because I want women to stop guessing and start truly understanding their bodies. So many of us are doing our best, eating well, exercising, showing up, yet we're still wondering if we're doing the right things. It's never too late. You don't need to wait until something goes wrong to take your health seriously. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your health isn't another diet or workout. It's simply having the courage to look inside, learn your own data, and make informed choices and go from there. There's no one size fits all approach after 40, which is why personalization is so important. If you would like support navigating weight loss and overall wellness in a way that's tailored specifically to you, I offer private one-on-one coaching. You'll find a link below if you would like to learn more. If this video was helpful, please give it a like. It really helps support this channel and reach more women who need this information. And if you're navigating weight loss, hormones, or overall wellness in midlife, hit that subscribe button for more tips on how to thrive, not just survive. And I would love to know, have you ever had a DEXA scan? What was your experience? Or would you consider getting one? Let me know in the comments below. I read every comment. And if you want to know more about losing menopause belly fat, I have a full video breaking that down. Just click on the video on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.